Let me do a voice check. Testing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you hear me? What I'd like to do, let me go through the slides, but I want to play the latest YouTube thing that we put on and talk about the market. But I'm going to get started right at 3:30. So we're taping it. And so if somebody comes in late, they can listen to the tape. But we'll keep it about 20 minutes. But what a day today, huh? You had to get a piece of that. I mean, that was just something else today. For a shortened trading period, I thought it was outstanding. How about y'all? How did y'all feel about today? Were y'all in there mixing it up with people? Hey, Frank, Tina, Tom, Daryl, Scott, Van. Yeah, it was a great one. I mean, we had stuff just hitting right and left. All right, it's I got 3:30. I'm gonna get started. Jonathan, you ready to go to record it? You got it recording?
We are recording.
All right, let's do it. Risk involved in trading, high degree of risk. You know, educating yourself is very important, and past performance is not indicative of future results. Now, those that are not part of YouTube channel, this is we broadcasted YouTube in. Who is in just from YouTube? Let me ask that question. If you got the notice in YouTube and came, who's in just from YouTube? Let me ask that question. I'm trying to get a feel for how many people got notified from YouTube.
Remember, Tom, this we're in the Zoom room. YouTube,
right? But
a different channel.
But don't they get notification in YouTube when you go live?
Yeah, I got notification. Yeah, folks in the Zoom might. Yeah, that are already in the Zoom YouTube channel.
Yeah,
already subscribers.
Okay, here's how that worked. Okay. Yep, pretty good stuff. This week's video focus was on simple option trade with the 5 monthly news reports. And you want to play it right now, Jonathan? Let's just play it.
Hey folks, Tom Busby here, and I'm pretty excited about today's presentation because it's about the news. And I've been trading news for years, but you got to remember there's a very high degree of risk involved in any type trading, and past performance is not indicative of future results. However, if you do your due diligence and learn what I'm about to show you, you're going to be excited too. So this is simple option trading with the 5 what I call key monthly news reports that come out consistently every month. The first is unemployment report. It's at the first of the month. It measures the percentage of total workforce that is unemployed and actively seeking employment during the previous month. This tells people that are watching this report how the economy's doing, and it's at the first of every month, usually the first Friday of every month. If you look at it, it moves the market, and the release is every month. Second one that comes out middle month is CPI. Now, inflation is a big deal right now in the economy. Sometimes this report maybe doesn't have as much influence, but right now, as inflation is rising, people and all eyes on the Consumer Price Index. Consumer Price Index measures the change in the price of goods and services from the perspective of you, the consumer. It's a key way to measure changes in purchasing trends and inflation. PPI is the other report that comes out at the middle of the month. The Producer Price Index measures the change in the price of goods sold by manufacturers. It's a leading indicator of consumer price inflation, which accounts for the majority of overall inflation. The CPI and PPI reports, the way I think about it, about the middle of the month, during the second full week, these reports will be on the schedule and they will move the market. PPI is typically a day before CPI, but sometimes they switch it around just to keep you guessing, but always be alert to schedule changes. GDP is a report that comes out at the end of the month. The GDP measures the value of all goods and services produced by the economy. They will track this, estimate it. It is the broadest measure of economic activity and a primary indicator of the economy's health, GDP. GDP report comes out last Thursday of every month, except when you have holidays. That's when you got to pay attention. And the release date may change a few days because of a holiday. Personal consumption is another report that comes out at the end of the month. This is the Fed's go-to report. The PCE measures the index, the changes in the price of goods and services purchased by consumers for the purpose of consumption without the food and energy. Very convenient, isn't it? Everybody's always buying food and always got, energy in their car to move it. Now, these reports come out usually the last Friday of each month. Some months a date might change due to a holiday, depending on the holiday schedule. Now, most people know the S&P 500 this year is in a bull market. It's on an extremely hot run so far. But what most people don't realize is that if you look at these major economic report dates that I've been talking about, most of the gains occur during the reports. So you got to know the dates to report and be aware of them. In fact, if you remove those market moving days, the chart becomes totally dismantled, going from an unstoppable bull market to earning folks next to nothing. That's an eye-opener for you when you remove those reports. It tells you you don't leave this presentation without knowing about these reports and knowing when they're going to occur. Your strategy will change because of that. Now, as you can see, trading outside of these predetermined dates is a dangerous game and a fast track to losing money, especially if you're trading options, buying call options, buying put options, because 7 out of 10 days the market spins. 3 out of 10 you get these kind of movements. By isolating these explosive dates, you can develop a strategy where the money is made. Now, how do I trade these reports? The setup to trade around these economic news is straightforward and repeatable. Take notes on what I'm about to cover, then go watch the next several big news reports and eventually practice this technique on your own. The setup, I focus on the range of the 30-minute bar following the reported news. All these reports happen at 8:30 Eastern time. Write that time down, adjust it to your own time. That's when these reports happen each and every month. You mark the high and low of that first 30-minute cash bar. You wait for a break above or below that range. Other criteria to consider is where that particular market opened the month at, where did it open the week at. If yes, it breaks higher, then you're going to go long above that news bar. Here's an example of the QQQ, one of my favorite tickers to trade news with. You can see the news bar right there. Us going higher, look what happened. Up we went. Triggered higher, you went long, and if you go long and buy it there and sell it higher, you're going to make some money, which is the whole reason you learn the art of trading. Now, here's a bonus insight. Many times I prefer to wait for a second pass break of the range bar, high or low, so I probe the first par, and then when it breaks a second, I go all in, and that's the way I do my trading. It's proprietary, but just give you that insight when you're thinking about this. For option details, it's very simple. I find an option that has around 15 days to expirations. Easy to do with a ticker like QQQ. They have daily expirations. And I find a price of around $1. Makes the math easy. Now, trade management's simple also. I target 20% higher on half the position, and then I place a stop at where I got in and let the second half run for the rest of the day if possible. Now, if the trade moves against me, here's my technique. I will sell the next strike higher or lower depending on the strategy. If it's a call option, I'm going to sell one strike higher. Selling that next strike higher brings in premium, reduces my risk, and then I will set a trade, let me out with no cheese, over the next 72 hours. I'll avoid a day trade by doing this technique. So if you can't do day trading, you can use this technique even when it goes your way to get out the next day without violating the day trade rule by selling that next strike up. Learn more. If you want to learn more about how I turn theory into practice, I have an actual program that talks about that. You go to this website and you can learn more. But I always tell people, do your due diligence before you plunge in, Make sure you understand everything, educate yourself, ask questions, and then you're fully enter with eyes wide open. Now, if you want to get involved in my program, you can go to dtitrader.com/250. You can call 904-416-1776 if you want to get involved. But I think that if you will follow what I'm trying to teach you, do your due diligence, then you're going to love this technique I showed you today about those 5 big reports that happen. You know, as I always say, see you on the flip side.
Any questions about these reports? I think that should open your eyes. And that's why I use just buying call options or buying put options around these employment dates. The rest of the time, I'm usually an option seller. Any questions at all? Study this. We got a trade coming up Friday, and I'll have a 10 o'clock flash meeting on Friday to take advantage of it. Okay? So just keep that in the back of your mind. Okay? And okay, let's go to the rest of the slideshow. In my opinion, the market was target hunting today, up at the yearly high. We closed above it, and now we come back on a very positive uptick. I think I told people when they came out and the Supreme Court ruled on Monday this market was going higher. I was telling anybody who would listen, it was going higher, and boy, did we take advantage of it, in my opinion. Opportunity after 4th will be huge. I hope y'all participate with me. Now, this week at DTI, what did we do? Anybody make this trade? This was an iron condor trade. Didn't make very much on it. It was the standard trade we do weekly. I had a 4% risk on it, not much at all. Anybody make that trade? Okay, that was a trade we closed out on Monday. Now here's a trade that we did also on Monday. We closed out, took a hit on that one, not bad. I was happy that we got out of that one. How about the Apple trade? Anybody make the Apple trade? 27% return on risk there. Somebody tell me they made that trade. Okay, Wade did, Scott did. Good. Denise did. 32% on a debit call spread on Apple. We hit it again. This was in the, what program was that, Jonathan? This one here, I'm trying to see. Oh, Talk and Trade. Now, if you're a member of Talk and Trade, the math just justifies being a member, okay? Here's a trade that we did. This was a 22% average return on risk. We did that trade. I don't know, what program was that, Jonathan? T-Buzz All-Stars?
Yes.
That T-Buzz All-Stars on that one. Okay. Now here's an XSP trade. I did this in all services. This way everybody got a little bit of green if they took the trade. Anybody make this trade? Denise did. Scott did. Tom did. Yep, Buck did. Good. So I'm reaching some of y'all people out there to grow your account. That makes me feel good. Okay. 25% for all services. Rochelle did. Now this is a 1 ticker trade. We were able to get out. This was a trade that we did on QQQ, and we spread it up because it went against us. Ended up getting our money back plus 3%. Always happy about that one on the 1 ticker. 25-cent trader. Wow. This was a great trade. Jonathan, is this the one we made today for 10 cents?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that trade actually ended up about 15 cents. Who made the 25-cent trade? Better join that program. Find time for a dime. Wow. If you add all this up, your education is being paid for by all these people that don't understand how this works. Would you say that's a true statement or a false statement if you take my trades? Pretty good trade. Pretty good trade. We got news coming out Friday morning. If you held on to some, it might be even bigger. That's a 25-cent trade. NVIDIA, anybody make this trade? This was in talk and trade again. John, is that about $500 total for the talk and trade this week?
$320 from one trade at risking $1,000,
Mm-hmm.
and $240. That's over.
So $540 in 1 week in T-Buzz Talk. How many people think that's worth being a subscriber for $200 a month in the T-Buzz Talk and Trade? I gave you a lot more stuff in there education-wise, but $500 this week pays for about 2.5 months. Not bad. Way to go. The option blueprint that we put out at the first of the month, this is in T-Buzz Talk and Trade. I'll release that next week. Keep in mind, this sucker has really been paying off huge each month. Pretty good stuff, isn't it? T-Buzz Talk and Trade. Gotta love it. Now, if you want to join this program, go to dtitrader.com/TNT. I will be making a trade after the news on Friday in TNT. I'll definitely be doing that on Friday in TNT. We'll try to go for a 3-bagger this week in T-Buzz Talk and Trade. So get signed up. It's $200 a month, and I'll be doing that. The option blueprint, Wade, is where I lay out 5 option plays over the next 45 days. This is sort of like home run hitting, okay? And John, how do they get it if they're already a member getting the blueprint?
Posted right in Telegram.
It's posted right in Telegram. Okay, perfect. All right, I want to wrap this up. I didn't want to take a lot of time, but I think I made some strong points. Let's talk about Friday. In the last hour of trading Friday, I'll probably put on the Weekend Profits Club that expires Monday for all you Weekend Profits Club traders. Now, let me open it up for questions. Anybody got any questions for me? Don't you love being part of our team? Pretty fun, isn't it? Jonathan, before we quit, let's go back to every trade and do $1,000 and see what we generated this week in closed positions. I just want to know on $1,000 invested each time.
The billboards are based on $1,000, so
$40. All right, down 280, so we got 240 negative. Okay, 270 up 30. Up 320, so that's 350. Okay, now we're over 570. Goodness gracious. 770, 820. $850. About 1,200. $1,440.
that's it.
$1,440 including the losers. So Let's do some math there. What's 52 weeks times 1440? Anybody got a calculator here? I do. Let's do it. 52 weeks times 1440. 52 times 14, I'll just call it 1400. 72,000. 74. Wade says 7480. So, David, I would encourage you to shop around on your commission. You're paying too much commission if you're paying that much. $74,000. Is it worth $200 a month? Absolutely. All right, well, get signed up if you're not a member. David, who are you trading through? Who are you trading through right now? Swap, check Tasty Trade and Tradier. Tradier, they say, has got pretty good rates. Rob says his account's up 4,000. You did better than the $1,000. Folks, I think we take a victory lap. Y'all be there tomorrow. I got some real key things I'm good at, okay? And we'll do it. Yeah, you got to do Wade. If you do the XSP, you got to either negotiate it with Thinkorswim or Trader, I think. Okay. Old school, Jonathan, can you answer Phoebe's question there?
Old school sessions start live next week, July 9th, 10th, and 11th. The bonus sessions we've held can be found, the recordings can be found on the member site. Go to the home tab, go to the old school, you'll see a trade sheet. At the bottom left of the trade sheet is a recordings tab.
You know, Jonathan, one thing, a Trader, they tell me it's got real cheap commissions, okay? Trader. Check it out. And the Fidelity guy said they could beat that too. So you ought to check Fidelity too, I guess. Yeah, Trader and Fidelity. Shop around, get a good commission break, especially if you're going to be trading a lot of contracts like you should after you get educated. Okay, I have a theme. Those that will educate themselves with me will be very successful over time doing the strategies I teach. Do I have anybody here that's been with me over a couple years that I could use as an example how valid that statement I just gave you? Tina's been less than a year, but she's doing great. Tina is. I'm talking about somebody that's been with me a while, you know? Yeah, Bill says, read him and weep. Read him and weep. That's old poker saying. Trader, Dave, Trader, I think is the name of the broker. Check it out. Edwin, how many years you been with me? Oasis, somebody just recommended. We can check that out. Oasis. 15 years. Edwin, would you say the 15 years has been like this where we worked at it and you learned how to trade? I would say absolutely. 15 years he's been with me. There you go. Folks, y'all have a great 4th. I hope you make it to the July 4th webinar tomorrow afternoon. Get joined on YouTube, okay? Trader looks like they might have the best rate, okay? Van says, I've been with Tom since 2020 and he learned so much and he smiles as his account grows. I like it. Jonathan, thanks for putting this together. Have a good 4th. I'll see everybody at 4 o'clock tomorrow. As I always say, hey, I'll see you on the flip side.